Gambling guru Joe Fortenbaugh live from Las Vegas, looking stylish. All right, Joe, let's start with tonight's game. What do you like in this one?
This is a tough one because of the situation we're looking at. I would play Dallas in the first half minus the 7, and I think for the game, Dallas is the only play. They open as a 9-point favorite. It's up to 13.5. This game means nothing for Tennessee. Absolutely nothing. It all comes down to next week against Jacksonville. Whoever wins that game is in the playoffs. So tonight, you're probably not going to see Derrick Henry. A bunch of key starters are out on defense. This is already a really lousy Tennessee pass defense. The reason I give pause to backing the Dallas Cowboys in this spot is they're off that huge win against Philadelphia, and it wouldn't surprise me in the least if they played flat because they're so arrogant after what happened last week, but that's neither here nor there at the moment. Dallas minus 7 in the first half is probably my favorite play here.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. Now, remember, my picks right now are as bad as they can be. I got to tell Joe a couple of them in a second. And, you know, you don't like giving so many points up on the road, but generally speaking, I don't play these first half nonsense things, but you're probably right, minus 7 at the half. That's a good one.
All right, minus 7 at the half. Let's move to Sunday Night Football as Baltimore hosts Pittsburgh. What are you expecting to happen in that one?
So I take the Steelers plus the points at 2.5. I'd pick the Steelers to win this game as well. Classic Mike Tomlin team closing strong at the end of the season. 4-1 straight up and against the spread over their last 5 games. The defense has been incredible during that stretch, allowing just 15 points per game. Now on the other side of the equation, you look at Baltimore struggling on offense in a big way. 17 or fewer points in 5 of their last 6. That's obviously due to the Lamar Jackson injury. These two have a history of playing very close games. The underdog is where you want to be in this rivalry. Underdog is 26-3 against the spread in the last 29 meetings between these two. I think Pittsburgh pulls it out late, so I take the points and I play them on the money line as well.
There you go. Take them on the money line. 2.5, Joe, means nothing, right? Play them on the money line. It's a better play. You get a plus instead of worrying about the points. How about that?
I like it. I mean, that's what we saw in college football yesterday in the Kansas-Arkansas game. If you took Kansas on the money line, you lost, but if you took the 2.5, you won by the hook. So well said there, dog. Well said indeed.
Now, remember, I'm glad he brought it up. This is why I'm a loser in every sense of the word, okay?
Oh, my God.
Last Friday, Louisiana, minus 5.5, plus 5.5. 58 minutes and 40 seconds, they cover. Houston scores a touchdown.
Yep.
You lose that one. Yesterday, like an idiot, I took Kansas on the money line.
Oh, no.
They're down 38-13. They tie the game on a miracle. And then they lose at a 2-point conversion, 2.5 covers. And like a dope, I take them on the money line. I lose one I never should have lost, and I should have had a miracle win, and I lost them both. That is the definition, Joseph, of a loser. How about that?
Not great.
Yeah, and that is why you're in studio working today and Stephen A's off. That's the difference right there.
Even better. Even better.
All right, let's move on to some college football, shall we? All right, the college football playoff semifinals. Michigan is a 7.5-point favorite against TCU. What's the play, Joe?
As long as it's north of 7, I'm going to be on TCU here. It's not going to be a large bet, but I think TCU benefits more than any team in the playoff from the extended rest. Their bye week was September 17th, so they played 11 consecutive games to close out the season, and those games all seem to be thrillers that came down to the wire. Now you get a month off. You mentally reset. You physically reset. You get healthy, and you're going up against a Michigan team that you know wants to run the football. The key to this game is TCU hanging tight early with their defense. If they do that, they are going to keep it within 7.5. If Michigan overwhelms them, like we've seen that happen to Big 12 teams before in the playoff, it's over. So smaller wager, TCU plus the points.
Yeah, I think Michigan's loss last year against Ohio again in the Georgia, and they got blown out in this game. I think that will help them. I think Joe's way off. I would give up the 7.5, and I would take the Wolverines.
Yeah, I'll take it too. All right, let's go on the other side. Georgia is 6.5-point favorites against Ohio State. Who do you like in that one?
Georgia. I can't believe this isn't 7. I can't believe it's not north of 7. I'm not a believer in Ohio State. I was before the season started. I was proven wrong in my opinion. 3 key games Ohio State played this season. 3. Notre Dame, they barely escaped. Penn State, they needed a massive fourth quarter. And then Michigan, they got absolutely waxed. Georgia's going to push them around the field just like Michigan did. They're going to make them one-dimensional with the passing attack. They're going to be able to pick them off. Georgia's offense is going to move down the field against an overrated defense. We are playing Georgia here.
Yeah, I agree. Joe's 100% right. It's only 6.5.
Georgia.
You got to gamble on a better team, and they're basically at home. Although they'd be Ohio State fans of the games in Atlanta. So I think Joe's right, Georgia.
I know you're thrilled about Georgia.
I don't want Georgia. I root like heck for Ohio State, but I think he's right.
Joe Fortenbaugh, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.